Hello everyone and welcome to my first FPL video on the channel. I'm an avid FPL player. I play it every year and I enjoy doing so. So I thought, why not make some content around the Fantasy Premier League? And if you guys like it, let me know in the comment section down below. And should I create a mini league that every viewer can join and we can have a go to see who can top the AC9 league? So getting into it, I'm going to talk about player prices, player value, who I think could be an important player of this FPL year, who has a high ceiling, and then at the end of it, I will show you my first current draft. So looking at the forwards, the highest priced is Erling Haaland, which is expected at 11.5. Then we also have Kane at 11.5. And then we have Ronaldo at 10.5, which I think is quite lenient for Ronaldo. 10.5, that's not bad value if he stays. Haaland at 11.5 is very interesting. I thought it'd be 12 million. I thought, because a Man City striker, he's got all the hype around him, one of the best in the world. I thought it'd be more, but at 11.5, it's not too bad, and I think he'll be in most teams in that opening week. So an interesting option for me at 8 million is Jesus. I think he'll be the main starter for Arsenal up front. And, if he hits the ground running, I think at 8 million it could be a steal. So keep an eye on Jesus, as he could be a steal. Good fixtures as well. So, if he starts off well against Crystal Palace, then, he's got Bournemouth, Fulham, Villa. I mean, United's not a bad fixture. Everton, Brentford. So I mean, look, a lot of sea green here. So good potential there for Jesus. On the budget side of things, I think Dennis Undav has potential to be a bargain. He's probably gonna lead the line for Brighton. They need goals in the side, which is why they've brought this lad in from the Belgian Pro League. He has potential to get goals. Brighton are a good side, play good football, and they create chances. So I think, this is one to watch here at Undav at 5.5 million potential bargain. Another potential player is Armando Broja. This all depends if he gets a move. For example, if he goes to West Ham, I think he'll be the main man up top there, which means, at 5.5 million, that could be a steal. So it all depends if he gets a transfer. So you'll have to wait a couple of weeks to see if that is the case. But keep an eye out for Armando Broja. Now into the midfield. This is where a lot of the higher tier options are in. As you can see, we've got Salah here at 13 million, which is very expensive. But then again, it is Mohamed Salah, and he's always up there in the points. So is it that expensive? Don't know. De Bruyne at 12 million. For me, I would rather have Haaland at 11.5 than De Bruyne at 12. But, De Bruyne is one of the best players in the league, if not the best player. So, 12 million, I suppose, could look a steal. Son at 12 million, it's a big price range, big price upgrade for Son off the back of the best season he's had. Was probably the best player in the league, in my opinion, last year. Goals, assists, he done it all. So, he deserved the price upgrade, and at 12 million, I'm not sure if I'd go there. I probably would, but I don't think he'll be in my first week team. So, Southampton, Chelsea, Wolves, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, then Fulham in the first 6. It's not bad fixtures at all, to be honest. So, potentially, actually, he's one to look at. I retract the statement I said a second ago. He could be an option early doors, as they have decent fixtures, and we know he's a world-class player. Now, for me, I think Luis Diaz at 8 million is an absolute steal. Mane's gone now, so I think Diaz will be the main man down that left-hand side. I could be wrong. I'm not a Liverpool fan. It's just my opinion. But if he is the main option down that left-hand side, 8 million could look an absolute steal. In that attacking Liverpool side, obviously one of the best in the league. He's going to get goals. He looked amazing when he joined last season in January. He fit right into that team, and I think, with a full season under the belt, he could get a lot of goals and assists. So for me, that is a very tempting price. Grealish at 7 million. I quite like this price. I feel like this is a good price for an attacking Man City midfielder. Now, this year is an important year for Jack Grealish. If Sterling goes, that left-hand side is going to be freed up, and it could be Jack Grealish's to keep. Signed for a massive price fee of £100 million. So he needs to establish himself now and prove why they signed him. And I think he could do that this season. At Aston Villa, he was getting goals, he was getting assists, he was creating chances left and right. And at this City side, if he's creating for Haaland, his numbers could skyrocket. So at 7 million, an attacking City midfielder, I think that's a solid option. Now, Leon Bailey is someone that is intriguing. Unfortunately, he was ravaged with injury last season, but when he played, he looked all right. And if he can stay fit this season, he could be an option. At only 5 million, it's only 1 million higher than the lowest possible. So that could be a bargain, and he's one to consider, I believe. Now, for me as a Manchester United fan, I understand the scepticism of going for Marcus Rashford because he was absolutely woeful last year. However, if he can find his form under Ten Hag, that left-hand side is his for the taking, unless, of course, then we sign Anthony, then potentially could be forced out with Sancho moving to the left and Anthony going to the right. However, if we don't, and Rashford will be that main left-hand side player, that could be an amazing option at only 6.5 million. The season before last, as you can see on the screen, he got 11 goals and 11 assists. Now, if you're paying that for someone who got 6.5 million, that's an amazing price. And I think he could be a superb option if Manchester United find the form and Rashford finds his peak form again. Keep an eye out for Marcus Rashford. So now moving on to the defenders. Of course, we've got the staples in Trent, Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. I think these are always fantastic options. They keep a ton of clean sheets. They're always bombing up and down the sidelines, and they get assists and goals. Trent and Robertson are on free kicks and corners, and they're just obviously good options. At 7.5 million, I think it's a go. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is a superb option, and he probably will be in my team come the first week. Cancelo is another premium defender option, this time for Man City. I think similar to Alexander-Arnold, I think this one's a go at 7 million. It's more expensive than last season, however, he's virtually got the spot locked down now at City. He will offer assists, he can get a goal, and Man City keep an abundance in clean sheets. His points galore. I think it's a go. And at 7 million, he's probably better than a lot of the 7 million midfielders you can get. So I like Cancelo as an option, and he probably, again, will be in my side. So another option I like is Ben Chilwell at 6 million. I think if this guy can stay injury-free, I think he's an absolutely superb option. For Chelsea, I thought when he played, he looked really good. When he's bombing down that left-hand side, he looks superb, and he's got a good finish on him as well. He can strike a ball. I think he's a wonderful option. And Chelsea, they're quite a defensive side. They'll keep clean sheets. So if he can play, he'll get assists and he'll get a goal. I think he scored a hat-trick, didn't he? I think I captained him that week, or he got 2 goals. And yeah, I just think Chilwell for Chelsea, if he can stay fit, is a wonderful option. And that also goes for Reece James at 6 million. You know what Reece James is about. He's similar to Trent in the fact that he's bombing up that right-hand side. He's on some set pieces. He's got a great whip on him, so he's going to get goals. He's going to get assists. And again, Chelsea keep clean sheets. So I think Reece James is another good option. So another option that I'm very intrigued by is Ivan Perisic for Tottenham Hotspurs. They recently signed him, and I think this is an amazing addition to their side. He'll play down that left wing back role probably, and he'll be bombing up and down. He's got a great strike on him, goal threat. He'll get assists. I think this could be an amazing addition. And at 5.5 million, under Conte, they're going to keep clean sheets. I think Tottenham will have a good season this year, and I think Ivan Perisic could be a superb option. So this one's a wait and see, but Cucurella, if he joins Manchester City at £5 million, that could be a bargain, because if he locks down that left-hand side, maybe Cancelo moves to right back, at 5 million, a Man City defender who's going to be attacking, that could be the bargain of the year. But of course, it's a wait and see if Marc Cucurella joins Manchester City, and that's if he starts. So I think the Arsenal defenders are great enablers. At 4.5 million, they're good for a clean sheet. I think they're solid at the back. Tomiyasu could be a great option. If he can stay fit, he got a bit of injuries last season. If he can stay fit at 4.5 million, this could be a great price. The rest of the defenders are at 4 as well, 4.5 for Arsenal, and I think they're all great options, of course, if they start. And I think Tomiyasu's basically a lock on that right-hand side. So I think Tomiyasu is a go. So now getting into my side, we have starting in net Raya. As mentioned beforehand, I believe this is a great option as a cheap goalkeeper. I always like to spend as little as I can on the goalkeeper. I believe the ceiling isn't really there for them, which is why I like to spend less and try to buy the best options possible. So now in defence, we've spent a little bit of money here, and I believe these to be the best options that you can buy, in my opinion. So I've gone Cancelo at 7 million. I think that's a no-brainer. Man City side keep clean sheets. He's going to get goals. He's going to get assists, and I think he's a lock in that defence. Of course, Pep likes to rotate, but I think he'll play the majority of the games. Then we have Trent Alexander-Arnold. I mean, do I need to say anything about this guy? Clean sheets, assists, goals. He's always attacking. Yeah, he's basically a right mid. I think it's a great option. Ricardo Pereira. I think this one's up to debate. If he plays, I think he could be a good option for Leicester. They had a poor season last year, but hopefully they bounce back this year. And if he starts down that right hand side, he could be a good option, as he likes to get down the line. And the final player in my defence is Ivan Perisic. As I mentioned, I was very intrigued by him, and I think he's a go for me. At 5.5 million, I like the look of him. I'm glad he's listed as a defender because it makes him more viable. He gets the opportunity for clean sheets, and now as well, he'll be bombing up and down that left-hand side, so he can get goals and assists, and he can shoot on either foot. He's got a great strike, so I do think he'll do well in the Premier League. So now onto the midfield. Of course, we have Mohamed Salah coming in at 13 million. It's very expensive, but he's guaranteed goals. He just got a new contract. He's happy at Liverpool. I think he's guaranteed goals. Does Nunes hinder him? Potentially. It's a wait and see on that. But I do think Salah's going to keep penalties. And I do think he's going to bang goals. And he will get assists as well. So we have Neto. This is not a lock. But, I think Neto's a great player for Wolves. And I think if he can stay injury free, he had a massive injury last year. He didn't play, I don't think, at all, which was very unfortunate because the season before that he was very good. So if he can find his feet again, I think at 5.5 million, he could be a great option, and he could be one of the main attacking players for Wolves. So I've gone with Jack Grealish. As for the mentioned statements earlier, I think he's just a great price at 7 million. He offers great attacking threat. I believe he's very creative, so he will get a lot of assists, I believe, to Erling Haaland, and he could chip in with a few goals himself. If Sterling definitely moves, then I think that makes him even more viable. If Sterling stays, then potentially he could be switched out. But of course, we'll have to wait and see. We have Marcus Rashford. It's a bit of a punt because you're punting on whether this guy's going to get back to form. Of course, I'm going to watch pre-season to wait and see and hope that he does well. If he doesn't look very good at pre-season, then potentially he'll be switched out for someone else. But at 6.5 million, I just think it's a great price and great value. And then we have Luis Diaz, who I believe is great value at 8 million. I think he's going to start most games for Liverpool down that left-hand side. He's going to replace Mane. He looked very good last year, and I think this year he's going to chip in with more goals and more assists with a full season under his belt. We have one man up front. You already knew it's coming. It's Erling Haaland. I think this man will bang goals in the Premier League. In the Bundesliga, he absolutely tore it up. I think if he can stay injury-free in the Premier League at Manchester City, who create chances galore, they've been crying out for a person who can finish, and Erling Haaland is that man. So if he gets as many chances as City created last season, I can't see him scoring any less than 20 goals, to be honest. So I think at 11.5 million, it's a great option, and I think Erling Haaland, is an absolute go. So on the bench we have Balcom, which is the Brentford second goalkeeper. So if Raya gets injured, then it just switches straight out for Balcom, who will replace him. You could have two 4.5 million rotation players, but I've gone with the two Brentford ones just in case one gets injured. So the second option I've gone with is Undav, the new Brighton striker. This guy has potential to be a good price at 5.5 million. If he starts every game for Brighton up front, then I think he'll score a few goals in the league. Of course it's a new league, so he's going to have to adapt. But Brighton are a good side, and they create quite a few chances. So I believe Undav could get a few goals at 5.5 million. So the next one I was a little unsure about, but Edouard is currently in there at 5.5 million. He's a decent player, Edouard. He scored a few goals for Crystal Palace last season. He looked better under Vieira, and at 5.5 million, if he can keep his spot, I don't see why it's not a bad price. And at 4.5 million, we have Tomiyasu, who is a great price for an Arsenal defender. So if you guys enjoyed this new FPL video on my channel, please let me know in the comment section down below, and I will continue to do so. FPL is something I enjoy playing every year, so why not make videos out of it? Let me know who you think you're going to have in your starting 11s, who you think is a good price, and if you want me to create a mini league, also let me know. So thank you guys for watching this new video. If you enjoyed, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe, that would be much appreciated. And other than that, guys, I'll catch you all next time. Cheers.